business with Hubs. One of the reasons we really wanted to do this because it is a process. You got to sign up on the CMBL, which is how they find you. You got to do those profiles, and you got to be seen. And so I will just continue to ask you to stay in touch with them. The state of Texas travels across the region. So if you're looking to grow in state work, you really need to stay on their radar. They do a big event in Austin that you may want to put on your agenda. That'll be in July, I believe, but we'll send out more information. So I'm going to ask Goodwill Pierre to come up front. He's been a part of GPC since its inception. He's been a chairperson, I think, a couple times, and he is also a board member. He generously sponsored our beverages and pastries this morning, so we want to thank him for that and give him a few minutes just to tell you a little bit about Goodwill Pierre and how he may be of service to you. And then we'll have Irving Hughes come up and he'll tie this up and talk about TexMOS, which is another piece of the Hub. It seems to be getting bigger, but we're hoping to help you guys put that together. And then we'll have closing remarks by the GPC co-chair, Rainice Edwards. So Goodwill.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I just want to thank everyone for being here. It was a pleasure when Tico asked someone to sponsor breakfast. It was a small thing that I can do to help further this wonderful mission and the wonderful work that I'm not on the board of GPC. I'm just a general counsel, so I'm not allowed to be on the board. But I have been part of GPC because it's something that I kind of feel it's like a vibe. It's like part of my blood. I definitely want to see small minority women-owned businesses be successful, and you definitely will be successful just by your presence here. My firm is I have a law firm and a consulting firm. I'm primarily from the legal side. I do a lot of things with trademarks, protecting intellectual property. I also do Department of Transportation appeals if you get denied getting your certification, a disadvantage with your certification. And I'm an expert in 49 CFR Part 26 and Part 23, and that is the Title VI aspect of transportation. If it's environmental protection, it'll be a different thing. Housing is Section 3. So I know all that. My assistant been with me since February 1st. Thank God. I don't know how I've ever Hines Profit. I stole her from the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance, and she made me pay her a little bit more. So she's been working for that. I also do a lot of consulting, business consulting, and for large and small companies. And so I just wanted to leave you with that message. I don't want to take up much of your time. A lot of people have met me before, so I didn't want to be so much of a sales pitch, but I just wanted to leave you with a sort of like an uplifting message with regard to what you want to do and your vision, your spirit. In anything you want to do, definitely look to connect and build relationships with people outside your comfort zone that don't look like you, that not from the same neighborhood, maybe not from the same country. I didn't know it was going to be as a lengthy meeting. I was supposed to be here early, but I had a impromptu meeting with some patent attorneys from South Africa this morning. One of my clients is the Breakfast Club. I've done all their trademarks and tried to give them legal advice whenever Marcus listens to me, but he never listens to me. So I traveled down here from Pretoria, South Africa, and one lady was from Ireland, another person from Pretoria, and he came and we started talking about intellectual property and talking about how I can help them. And so I introduced him to one of my good friends who's chief patent counsel for Bechtel, one of my clients on the business development side, but he's also trademark and patent. So I connected them together, and it wound up being like an hour-and-a-half meeting. They even gave me some money that I don't even know is real, but some $5 billion from Zimbabwe. I don't know if I'm breaking any laws. I don't know if it was private, but Bert, my friend from Bechtel, he wouldn't even take it because he didn't know. He wanted to make sure because it's a federal thing when people from foreign countries come to business. Yeah, so, definitely the thrill and excitement of connecting and possibly connecting with people from another country, from South Africa, and just extending myself to taking the breakfast was just awesome. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, the final thing, and those who've heard me speak before have heard me say this all the time. The positive, persistent people always get the prize. I have, even in this room, Ron, and quite a few people, business people that I've known, I've seen people get rejected. I've seen people spend tens of thousands of dollars putting together an RFP just not to make the short list. I've been around when people ask those questions, well, how much do I charge? Or how do I know where to get this information from? And people like looking, I actually, one person who was at the workshop last week, I remember when she first started, she said, Goodwill, I don't even know how to read specifications. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know what to do so that I can put together a bid. All I do is demolish stuff. I don't know what a bid is. You know, you can find it. And I connect people with people to kind of help. And no matter if you are rejected, if you don't get it your way, or if something comes together where you're with a group of people that you may fall out. The chemistry was good when it was hot, but then it kind of, you know, always remain positive. That is the one thing. It's been difficult, and it may be somewhat artificial when you think about the reality. But the energy spent to kind of be positive in everything that comes out, the bad or the good, helps to bring about a different spirit where you can see other opportunities that you would not have seen if you had a negative disposition from that experience. And so I've been involved, Tico, in this, and Ray Neese will know. I think I got here, moved here in 97, started working with the mayor's office, coming back into Vale Fields in 1998. I have seen businesses make millions of dollars, and I've seen that same businesses fall. I've seen them recreate themselves and do something else. And so, if it was back then, I would say yes, it's just cliche. But I would submit to you that by this time, Cleve, if he's an audience, and everyone else, I have factual evidence based on historical information that the positive and persistent people always gets their prize. It's a small place, everyone knows each other. Once you build relationships versus networking, once people can rely and trust, once you go outside your comfort zone and really reach to women-owned businesses, to white male businesses, to Latino-owned businesses, to Asian-owned businesses in different parts, Korean, Vietnamese, learn customs, learn different things. Not only will you be rich, but I guarantee you want to put money on it. This money from Zimbabwe. But I can guarantee, based on historical precedent, that you will, everyone here, not some, everyone here, from diapers. I work with a lady who, oh my God, this is such a great story. I know my enterprise manager, my clients, they don't pay me much, but I love to say they're one of my clients. And my job is to take their suppliers, and I am to counsel. Enterprise reimburses them, and I counsel them when they have problems getting their ACDB certification. And it's been such a rewarding experience because I met a young lady who sells child seats all around the country in Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It started something, she's a millionaire. Child seats. Okay? And then that's normal, that's irregular. And then she said, and then Enterprise tagged me because they want to count her toward their goals for when they do work at the airport. So they have been doing all the way. Child seats, okay, pacifiers, bubble gum. You know, your limitation to your success is just limited by the confines of your mind. Once you think, $1 million is little money, $10 million is little money. You got to think about big things. You got to think about outside Texas. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And I guarantee you, positive persistence, you always get the prize. I want to thank you for this opportunity to sponsor this. Good luck and success in business.
That's it. Okay. I didn't know. All right, guys, how you doing? Great. Yeah? Everybody have a good day? Great. No? 2 people said okay. All right, the rest of y'all don't care, huh? All right. Guys, my name's Irvin Hughes. I'm thrilled to be here. I want to thank the GPC for allowing me to have a few minutes to talk with you. And I want to just say again, thanks for my friends at the state of Texas to come all the way out here and teach and train us and show us the right way to do some of this stuff. I'm excited because I wanted to kind of tie this off today with giving you some information about TexMass, what TexMass is. Wow, are you kidding? You guys, how many of you guys even heard of TextMax? Let me see your hands. Okay, wow, well, this is gonna be good information for you, all right? What I'm gonna do is just give you kind of a little bit of an overview of what TextMax is. And this is a website, guys, that if you go to the comptroller's website, the whole program, all the information is right here. But I want to give you a little bit of an overview before we get into that. TextMax is the Texas, it stands for Texas Multiple Award Schedule. Multiple Award Schedule. And for those of you who are HUB certified or you want to be HUB certified, this is a destination point for you in your development. Now, what's special about TextMax? TextMax is a program that the state of Texas has that allows you to offer GSA pricing to your state. How many of y'all understand what I just said right there? How many of y'all know what GSA is? All right, GSA is federal, right? So there are 7 different levels of government. I'm not going to go into all of that, but you got to understand what level of government you're operating in at any given time. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, this stuff is just not all that clear, right? So some people may be dealing with a federal agency only to find out that, or thinking they're dealing with a federal agency and not know that they're dealing with a county or local government, right? Or maybe even dealing with a transit authority or a port authority and have no idea that they may not be dealing with a federal agency at all. So there are 7 different levels of government, but the reason why I want to bring up TextMax is because some of you in here are already HUB certified, but you're not playing in this space, okay? Some of you want to become HUB certified, but when you become HUB certified, you got to understand what this does for you. TextMax allows you to either, if you have gone to the trouble and the pain of going through the process of becoming a GSA supplier, that's at the federal level, TextMax allows you then to offer your GSA pricing to the state. All right? What it does is, because this is pre-negotiated pricing, okay? That means that now you have narrowed the field and you can now offer your catalog, your electronic catalog, okay, to the buyers and all of the agencies in the state of Texas, right? Without you having to necessarily bid competitively like normal. Why? Because the GSA is considered the most favored customer price. Y'all follow? So, how many of y'all bid on stuff before? Let me see your hands. Okay. How many of y'all enjoy the process? Yeah, that's what I thought. How about an opportunity where if you participate in TextMax, now you don't necessarily have to bid, but you do have to market, right? See, marketing is a little bit different now, right? Because now you don't have to worry about the pricing. Now you have to worry about educating the agencies about the opportunities that you can bring to the table to drive value. If y'all write, some of y'all, I see y'all, some of y'all writing, man, y'all a studious group, man, that's good. Here's a word I want you to write down. Value proposition. Okay, I'm sorry, 2 words. Value proposition. You want to write down value proposition. And why that's important is because at the end of the day, folks, that's what this is about. Whatever it is you're doing, whether, there's only 3 kinds of people in the room, right? Those of you who sell goods, those of you who sell services, and the rest of you are in construction. That's it. From the vantage point of the government, there are only 3 kinds of folks on the planet, and that's goods, services, and construction. Whatever it is you're doing, you need to understand what value you are going to bring to the table. TextMax is one of those opportunities. Now, for those of you who may be new, I have good news for you. Let's say maybe you're not on a GSA schedule. How many of y'all would like to benefit by aligning yourself with somebody who is already on GSA, and then you get the benefit of offering those prices to your state? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
Y'all know what I mean by cool? Some of y'all look like you don't know what cool is. Y'all know? No? Okay, all right. So you can do that by becoming a dealer or a partner. Now in the hub space with TextMax, you would be called a dealer, all right? Simply meaning that now you align yourself with a federally approved GSA supplier, and now that supplier allows you to be the dealer partnered with them here in the state of Texas. right? So now your value proposition becomes you get to offer GSA pricing. That's the point, okay? What that does for you now is that allows you to be way more competitive than a lot of people would be on the free and open market. Y'all follow that? And then of course, you get the benefit of understanding what your discounts are between you and your supplier. So I wanted to show you guys kind of where you go and find this information so that you can put your offer together. Now, we're not going to have time today to go through a whole lot of this, but one of the things I'd like to do for all of you who might be interested in TextMass or might be interested in getting the detailed information I'm putting on, if you would go to the GPC website. How many of you guys registered before you came in here? Let me see your hands. Go on, tell it. All right, the rest of y'all walked in, right? All right. You guys, I want you to go to the GPC website and register. Go ahead and put your information in there because we don't know how to reach you, all right? If you get on the list, I'm going to send you some information that you're going to need to put you an offer together, and more importantly, study what this information can do for you, all right? Is that all right? How many of y'all would like to do that? Let me see. Don't stare at me, man. You got to participate. All right? Okay. All right. How many of y'all know where the GPC website is? Y'all know this was an exit exam. It's an exit exam. Where is it? Who knows? Government Procurement Connections? HoustonGPC.org. That's where you got to go. HoustonGPC.org. Guys, please go to the website, put your information in there so we can contact you, because I want to send you this information because, quite honestly, there are opportunities out here. Now, I want to show you, just real quick here, you would see here where it says TextMass dealer documents. Okay? What this is I want to show you the GSA contracts that are offered by folks in your state. And this is, but if you're a hub and you have no idea what the benefit of being a hub is, you can't play because you didn't know because nobody told you. That's why we want to send you this information, because you need to know. And I want to give you an example here. You might see all of these GSA contracts and they're broken down by all of these different vertical markets. And you can pick out whatever market fits you. And I'm just going to pick out one here like GSA 71 for furniture. And just to show you, here are the GSA suppliers who are participating in TextMass right now. But you might notice here is Campbell Contract Inc. And you might notice that this is a little different from Formaspace. Do y'all see that? What do y'all see here? Hub dealers available. Perhaps, how many of y'all know why they would want to go to the trouble of saying hub dealers available? Anybody? Because they want one, right? They want to, these suppliers want to let the state of Texas know, hey, you can buy our products through a hub. And the benefit to the state is now you get pre-negotiated pricing and you get the benefit of capturing whatever that spend is for hub. Does that make sense? In English, we call that a value proposition. Some of y'all on the way home. Okay. All right. So here's what it looks like. Here is Campbell Contract. Here is their TextMass profile. And you might notice that they had a listing that said hub dealers available. These are the hubs that are already partnered with this particular GSA contractor. Now, these hubs get to benefit from the GSA contract by offering the GSA pricing. Is that how it works? That's how it works. I have a couple of people in here who have actually gone through this process, and I'm not going to hang you out, but I'm going to tell you about who you are. All right? But I just wanted you to know folks are already doing this, and I wanted to make you aware. Now, you're going to have to go do your own research, but I want to give you some information because I want you guys to be able to reach me and ask us some questions about it, okay? If you're a writing person, you can email me. My email address is ehughes, and that's EHUGHES, at AR, that's like Apple Robert, the number 2, credit.com. So ehughes@ar2credit.com. Okay, all right. So, oh, good idea. Okay. So, guys, if you want this information, please leave your email with Valerie, Ms. Coleman outside. Okay. And when you do the survey, right, we'll make sure we're gonna hold you hostage, right? We ain't gonna send you this information unless you do that survey. Right. So, y'all, please do the survey for you. Yeah. Now, take the time to do the survey. How many of y'all gonna do the survey? Please do the survey. Because let me tell you what. Let me give you an example of what I mean. This is just one example for furniture. Folks, some of y'all can offer all kinds of supplies through this program. Some of y'all are in construction, some of y'all are in service, and some of you guys don't play on the supply side at all. And let me just tell you, you ought to be doing all of them. If you sell services, you ought to be selling some goods. I'll give you an example. I have a young man in Huntsville, Texas, who's been in the janitorial business for 28 years. Well, at his age, it's hard for him to chase one of them buffer machines down the floor. I asked him a simple question. Why aren't you selling supplies? He said, what do you mean? I said, aren't you buying supplies right now? He said, well, of course. I said, don't you know where to buy supplies? He says, of course. I said, why aren't you selling them? Are y'all following? Mm-hmm. Now he's able to pass his business along. He's in the janitorial supply business now. He's no longer in the service business. And now he's serving, his competitors now buy from him. They used to be competitors because he was competing against other janitorial services, but now he's on the supply side of the house. What am I saying? I'm saying that in this competitive world, folks, we're connected now, and you got to learn how to compete. That is a bad word for a lot of people. How you compete is make sure that you have positioned yourself to be where the money is going. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? When a bid opportunity comes out, that's an announcement of where somebody in government is getting ready to spend some money. Guess what happens when you're not there? Who knows? Huh? You don't get in. That's exactly right. Right? So I just wanted to share this with you. Now, how many of y'all ever seen the TexMass contract list? Let me see your hand. A couple of you? Fast, yeah? Man, y'all looking at me like I came from outer space, man. All right. So this is just office furniture. Let's look at another one. Who's got another category on this list that they want to look at?
70.
GSA 70? 70? What is it?
IT.
IT services?
Doesn't all the IT stuff go?
Well, that goes under DIR.
That's what I thought. So if you have a GSA contract
Yes.
and it's a Schedule 70,
Yes.
you cannot transfer that to.
Yes, you
TexMass.
can.
You can transfer it?
Yes, you can.
So that means you really don't need a DIR contract.
Well, it means that you would still, in other words, let me be clear, DIR would still be the agency who makes the purchase. It's just that now you're going to be offering GSA pricing to DIR.
Okay.
Follow?
Yeah.
I hope y'all understanding what I'm getting at.
Oh, don't worry, we got your email.
All right. Here's another one. Facilities maintenance. Right? Here's facilities maintenance. Now, I've got people who've been around the HUD program for years. They have no idea about what TexMass is. All right? And here's the point. Go through here. On this side of the screen, guys, these are all of the dealers. Now, watch this. You don't have to be a dealer. You can start out as a dealer. But guess what? Once you get on GSA, right, you can now put your catalog on TexMass. Now, let me give you the other point. How you offer your pricing to those state agencies. You remember, you're offering pricing to all of Texas' state agencies. This includes the colleges and universities, right? You do that through a catalog, an electronic catalog that you can partner with your supplier. Okay, so you can partner with your supplier to get the catalog, right? And that is on something called Texas Smart Buy. Write that down. You're going to have to see it again. Texas Smart Buy. Texas Smart Buy. Right? Now, I want to show you an example. Here is someone, Tejas Premier Building Contractor out of San Antonio. Right? Here's a hub, female Hispanic owned business. But you may notice that there are no dealers listed here. Y'all see that?
Yep.
You know why? This is a hub. Already on GSA. So here's an example of somebody who is a hub, but they're already working at the federal level. Are y'all following? Mm-hmm. And now they're offering their pre-negotiated GSA pricing to the state of Texas. Pop quiz, do they bid or not?
No.
No. Pre-negotiated pricing at the GSA level means you don't have to bid anymore. Now you market. Your role changes to market. How many of y'all would like to market as opposed to bid? I'm telling you right now, one of the things that's going to be a benefit to you is once you make it through the HUB program, all right, get certified with HUB, this, guys, is your next logical step. Whether you sign on with an existing GSA supplier as a dealer, or whether you start putting yourself in position to go on GSA yourself. That's the point, all right? And I just wanted you guys to get an opportunity to actually see this. And now I want to show you what is underneath this. This is actually their catalog. This is what their catalog looks like. Y'all see that? Notice here's a GSA contract. See, they're on GSA right now. Right? And guess what? By being connected with us here, you get the benefit of having us help you walk through some of this. All right? Now, I know a lot of this stuff, guys, is a lot of alphabet soup. Don't get me wrong. Okay? I get that. But you are in the room. Some of y'all don't know, but I want to say it because the rest of them ain't going to say it. Y'all in the room with some of the most experienced people in government contracting that you can. These are the literal stars and sources of government contracting in our state. And I don't want to sell that short. You know, some of y'all had the benefit of meeting Miss Cynthia Booker. And I can tell you, if you hadn't met her, you shouldn't leave the room without meeting her. Okay?
So
Yes.
stand up, Cynthia, so they know who you are.
Yeah, stand up and Cynthia. Right? Right? That's the point. Miss Renice, Tico, Bernard, all these folks. We have my friend Will in the back with the City of Houston.
Yay, Will.
You guys can't leave a room without knowing who these people are because that is where your help. Some of y'all looking for shortcuts. Guess what? That's the shortcut. Hello? You don't got to create a shortcut. These folks are the shortcuts, right? And Miss Keisha back there, we worked last night to try to get her some reason to come back to see us in Houston. How many of y'all were in her class? Yeah? How many of y'all learned? Let me ask you this. How many of y'all learned something you didn't know before you came in here today? Okay. How many of y'all feel like you ought to tell somebody next time you hear about something like this? This is where the information is. Right? And so I want to share with you that your catalog can be just like this because this is what all the buyers see. Right? Now, I want to throw this out, and this is my last point. Guys, once you're on GSA, or if you become a dealer on a GSA contract, okay, once you make it to the text mass schedule, okay, by rule, buyers go through a process to procure items. One of which they have to go through a process of finding out, can they source it under a term contract? Can this be sourced from some of the organizations for the blind? Can this be sourced through our correctional system, right? And can this thing be sourced under a mass contract? And then can it be sourced under HUB? Are y'all following the steps I'm saying? All right. What I'm saying is that if you're out of position, it doesn't matter how much money the state is spending, you were not standing there. And all we're trying to help you understand is that there's some work. I'm sorry to use bad four-letter words for some of y'all, but work is involved, right? And guess what? Reading and putting yourself in position to get in on some of this money is the right thing to do. How many of y'all agree to that? I'm making an assumption now that y'all are in here and you spent your time this morning because you plan on making some money. Is that right?
Right.
So I want to commend you for being in the right place because this is where money is being spent. And one of the reasons why these agencies go to the trouble and the energy and effort and time that they do is because, trust me when I tell you, they do want to buy from you. They really do. Now, because I'm independent and I can't be fired, I can tell you why they want to buy from me. Because I had this question, somebody asked me, why do they want to buy from me? Let me tell you, they want to tax you. That's the way it works, folks. Government cannot tax broke people. That's the way it works, right? And so guess what? They want you to make some money. And guess what? Because they want to make some money, that's where the loop closes. That's why when people don't want to get into government contracting in whatever capacity that is, you're missing the boat. Why wouldn't you want to earn some income from the system that you're forced to pay into?
That's good.
Right? Is that good?
Yes.
Thank you. I got one amen. All right, very good. So guys, now any questions about TextMaster real quick? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Real quick, the pricing that you had up, was that under TextMass or was that listed under Texas Smart Buy pricing?
Yeah, okay, so the pricing is, the catalog, the Texas Smart Buy is where the pricing is.
Is that, I'm GSA and Hub.
Yeah.
So would I assume that my GSA pricing that's listed with the GSA automatically shows up, or do I need to put that in?
No, that's where you have to make the offer and then it goes into Smart Buy.
Okay, gotcha.
You don't change your catalog or your pricing, it's just that now you've got to link your GSA catalog, your offer, to Texas Smart Buy.
Yeah, okay, so I'm GSA, I'm Hub, I'm TextMass.
Yes,
I'm all of that, but I still got to get my pricing in there.
still got to get your pricing in the catalog. Excellent question. Any others? Okay, awesome. Guys, was this helpful for you? All right, very good. How many of y'all are going to do your homework? All right, y'all make sure y'all fill out those surveys, man, because I want to send y'all this information. There's too much money being spent out here, y'all ain't in the right spot. So thank y'all so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it.
Whose head is doing like this? Anybody? It's like mine. Anybody? I know mine is going, ooh. That's why I'm
So we got an announcement?
we are gonna make an announcement.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here and let you make the announcement. All right. Thanks, guys.
But first, thank I never need a mic. Everybody can hear me, right? Can y'all hear me? Okay, so first of all, we want to thank you for spending your time, because for all of you as small business owners, so how many of, okay, so that means you wear a lot of hats, right? Which means you want to get out of here, because we told you we would have you out of here at a certain time. If you look at the clock, we're gonna have you out of here early. So thank you for coming. We appreciate all the hats you wear. We want to make sure we're providing you with information that's beneficial. So with that being said, I need Tico and Bernard to come up here with me because we're gonna make an announcement. So get up, come on. You guys know we let Tico is no longer with Metro. You guys know that? Bernard's no longer with HISD, and I'm no longer with PPG. But we're doing some collaboration. And so watch for us in May. We're going to have an online radio show called Growth Works. And we're going to talk about some of these things we're talking about today, and we're going to bring speakers on and people to come in and talk about a lot of this so that you stay connected. So remember, Growth Works. And that's our announcement. Growth Works.
And that's going to be the name of
It's
the
going to be the name of the online radio. Yeah, Growth Works.
Roadworks?
Growth. Growth Works. So we're excited. You guys will get to hear Mr. Erb again, share some information and go into in-depth, and we'll be asking you to send us some questions and some topics that you'll want to hear us talk about online. Right, so we're looking forward to connecting with you. We're done. There's still a few snacks in the back that were provided. Network with one another, because you never know who you might be able to be a dealer for in Texas. Thank you.
I will enjoy her when I go back to the